Welcome to the Tall Garage, everybody. I'm your host, Ken. Today, we got kind of a pretty great video, I think, ready for all of you. We're going to be doing a complete fuel system overhaul on our 1956 Ford F100 with the LS-swapped. Everything we have here is going to be used to go from our old carburetor setup to a new modern fuel injection setup, which kills two birds with one stone, since we kind of need to redo the whole fuel system anyway, since the truck is pushing 70. A lot of the parts you're going to be seeing in today's video are from Evil Energy, who sponsored today's video, and they wanted me to tell you about a couple events that they have going on this month. In November, they're doing their Black Friday countdown event, so there is 12% off the entire site. So go on the site and make sure you check out for all the good deals they got going on before Black Friday even hits. And from now to the 21st, all customers placing orders will be entered to win gift cards, first, second, and third place. So all the information for these events will be down in the description, so make sure you check that out. There's also a third event going on that's going to be down in the comments, which if you join the blog and the link in the description and make a comment, you'll also be entered in to win more prizes. So I want everybody to give a huge shout out to Evil Energy. Make sure you let them know that you've seen it here at Tall Garage. And don't forget, we also have a Tall Garage discount even after their Black Friday discount is over. If you use the code here, 10% off all your orders. So, make sure you support Tall Garage the best you can. All right. So let's talk about some of the components we actually have. All right, so let's talk about the components. Let's start over here with our hose. This is rated, it's steel braided. It's rated for E85. We have 6 AN for the return, and we have 8 AN for the feed. That should be pretty good for the majority of people. I forget exactly what type of hose this is. I'll put it down here in the screen to remember, because there are a bunch of different types, and which is important because you need to match your fittings to the type of hose that you have. This is the kind that uses a little ferrule inside. These are AN fittings. This is an 8 for our feed. Again, these are provided by Evil Energy. So good stuff. Even if we weren't sponsored in this video with Evil Energy, we'd still be using Evil Energy products because of how cost effective they are between your quality and your price. These things are great. I've never had one leaked, and I've used them on the majority of my projects. So we have a very big assortment of fittings here. We have some 45s, few 90s, few straights, everything we'll need to get the job done. Now we do have a sock on the pump in the tank, and we'll talk about that in a little bit more, but we still need a inline filter, which is a higher micron than the sock. This, I believe, is a 10 micron filter. This will be going in line. And there is the element we're going to use. This is an air motive element. And that is the part number right there, 10 micron, yep. Assortment of fittings for that. This is actually the wrong one. I gotta get the right one. But this is supposed to be an 1/8" NPT to 6 AN. We're gonna put the return in the old feed line, and hopefully it's not too small. We have our fuel rated wires, which are going to be going through our fuel pump hat. This is basically so the fuel doesn't soak up through the wire. And I guess we should talk about our fuel pump hat. So this is kind of like one of the more important pieces of the deal, because since this tank originally was for a carburetor setup, it didn't have a place to put in a high pressure fuel pump, which is why we got this. And I will show you more of this later on in the video when we actually go over installing it in the tank, why we chose to install it where we did, and how the installation went. The tank itself was provided by ACP. The customer paid for it. This is a customer truck, remember? But yes, the customer paid for this tank. Unfortunately, they did not provide it. It would be awesome if they provided it. So ACP in the future, maybe hit me up and we can talk. So we're starting on the fuel system today. We got a brand new tank here. We're gonna go ahead and put this hanger for the fuel pump in. Since this tank originally is just carbureted only, there's no real provisions for a high pressure fuel pump. So we're gonna cut a hole and we're gonna put, like I said, this hanger in, and that will hang our pump, and it conveniently has fittings and a pass through for our wires. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this hole real quick.
Can't buy a hole saw. Right. No, too hard.
We cut our hole in our tank with our little body saw here. A hole saw might have worked better, but it definitely would have made more of a mess, I think. So this worked pretty good, and we didn't have to buy a $20 hole saw. And we're gonna install our hanger here, and we chose this location for a couple of different reasons. The first reason is this is at the back of the tank. So under high acceleration, all the fuel will be back here, which is good. And there's also a bulkhead right here. So on hard deceleration,
you can't see in there.
The fuel won't slosh all the way to the forward. So there'll always be fuel at the pump, which is important because most modern tanks have like a bucket or a couple different words for it, but they have something to retain fuel on the pump on the high pressure setups on newer cars. So this doesn't, so we're kind of making the best use as we can. But we're gonna go ahead and get this installed here with this retaining ring in this gasket. And then once we get our pump installed, we'll go ahead and be able to get it back under the car. So we're assembling our hanger. We got our Chemso fuel pump. These are really great. If you guys haven't used these or heard about these, I think there's 340 was it gallons per minute? I forget what they GPM maybe?
Gallons per minute. Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know what fuel pump's rated at. I just remember that there's 340. So anyway, these are great. They're Chemso. They're on eBay. They're good for E85. I have 2 of them in the Ranger. They've been in there 3 years almost now. And they're still running, no problems. So great budget pump, like $34 on eBay. It comes with everything you need to put it in. But we're, like I said, we're assembling our pump hanger here. So we're gonna get this on our hanger with these provided hose clamps. We're gonna snug it down. We're gonna check our fitment. We want this as close to the bottom of the tank as possible without actually putting pressure on our little
filter.
Yeah, there's a word for this. I forget what it is. The filter goes in the bottom pump. So that is our plan here. Just a little bit of test fitting to see if we get the right fitment, and then we'll go ahead and drill our holes to put our retaining ring and our gasket on. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, everybody. Well, we got a bunch more video here to show you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this video. Take a minute of your time and hit the like button and subscribe. A couple seconds of your time really helps the channel. It means a lot, and I appreciate it. Also, you guys should leave a comment down below and let me know what you're working on. I love to hear about other people's projects. Down in the description, you'll find a link to our Tall Garage Facebook group. I'd love to see you guys join and post your projects in there. That'd be awesome. But anyway, let's get on with the video. I'm going to show you more of what we did and how we got this truck all suited up. All right, you guys seen us set the length on our hat. We got this down on the bottom of the tank where we want it to be. So that's all good. Now we got our clamps tight, and so we can finish assembling the pump. We got our wires running through our pass-through that came with the hat, so that's real nice. And we're just getting them crimped up with the provided with the fuel pump connectors. A little bit about this fuel pump, even though I've talked about it earlier. This is a Chemso pump. I'll put a link in the description to the Chemso pumps. Chemso pumps are great. I have 2 of them in the Ranger. For this particular setup, since it's just going to be NA, we're only running 1. But I have great luck with these. They're supposedly 340 gallons per minute, I believe. Is it gallons per minute? I'll double check that. But the pumps are rated very high, and they seem to do the job. Best thing is only like 40 bucks. So we're gonna go ahead and finish wiring this up. And then the last part will be putting on our hoses from the pump to the top of the hat. Now, I didn't talk about this at the beginning of the video, and I probably kind of should have. So this right here is submersible hose. And this stuff can get kind of pricey. I found a pretty good deal on it. I'll put it on the screen here, and I'll put a link. Oh, excuse me. I'll put a link in the description for this stuff. I got it on Amazon. But submersible hose is pretty important. Apparently, standard fuel hoses, if you get the outside wet, they can outside wet fuel. The fuel can get in between the layers, and they can delaminate and pop. So you want to try to use submersible hose in your tank. I've also had really, really good luck with a Parker push lock 801 hose, putting it in fuel tanks. It seems to hold up extremely well. So if you want to use the Parker push lock stuff, the whole Ranger is actually done. Feed to the tank to the engine and return is all done with Parker push lock. So I feel really happy about that stuff. But it got a little bit expensive after COVID. This stuff, like I said, this stuff was a pretty good deal. I'll throw the link in the description. But yeah, we're going to use this to go to the hat. We're going to have one feeding the pump. And we'll go find our little torch and we will shrink these connectors down. All right, I got about 10 feet of this. That should be plenty. Now, it came with your standard hose clamp. We don't use these, these are garbage. I got two different kinds I use. I got the crimp kind, but I'm out of the size I need. And I got this kind. Now these are actually high pressure hose clamps. So they're for exactly this application. So that's what we're going to use. I got the right. This looks like the right. I like to put a little lube on the hose. I can go on the bars a bit better. You don't have to, but you know, can't hurt. So this might be a bit finicky to get in here. We don't got a lot of room to get on this pump. I might have to take the pump off. I hope not, because that would be super inconvenient. I have to take it off. So I'm gonna try to wiggle it on here as best we can. All right. So the one thing I don't like about this particular pump is that it doesn't have a barb for putting the hose over. It's smooth bore. Well, maybe smooth bore ain't the right word, but it's smooth. I don't particularly like it. There are other pumps that they make that have a proper barb style to help retain the hose on. If you're smart though, this isn't really a problem. You just have to use a very short run of hose and secure the hose so it can't slip off. Or I guess to say, so it can't have room to slip off. Alright, so we're going to do a nice short run right up to this fitting. We want to keep as little hose as possible, so that way it's going to be nice and tight, and it's going to compress the hose basically to keep it on the fitting. So we got these hose cutters. If you guys don't have a pair of these, I mean, they can't be very much. I would get a set. We're going to trim it a little long. This is what I think's a little long. We're right on the money. And then we'll trim it if we need to trim it. Like I said, a little lube goes a long way. I really like this, I think it's Permatex brand. You get that most auto parts stores. It's really nice. There we go. I like that. I'll probably put some, well, I don't want it rubbing through. It shouldn't rub. That looks really good actually. I'm really happy with that fit. Like there's no way this hose is going to blow off now. At least I don't think so. So there's one done. Yeah, these clamps here don't squeeze your they don't squeeze your hose the same way the standard hose clamp will. They put a more uniform squeeze on it, which helps protect the hose from getting cut or deformed, causing it to leak. for right now, that's good. I'm really happy, like I said, if that run, that came out good. Like, I don't think we're gonna have to worry about it rubbing on the bolt heads in here, because there's a nice little gap, but still pretty tight, so that shouldn't go anywhere. Looks pretty good. That's no big deal. You guys kind of get the gist of it. I'll turn you back on when we got this part done, and we'll get it installed in the tank. We're gonna cut the video here, fellas. I'll kind of got away from me on my schedule, so we're gonna make this probably a two-parter. We'll show you guys installing the tank and plumbing it up in the next one. I just really wanted to get this part of it out so you guys could see how we went about putting the pump together and all the components we used. There'll be some more stuff in the next video that maybe we didn't show, as far as what fittings we use where and why, and like I said, we'll show you that in the next one. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and comment. A couple seconds of your time means a lot for the channel, and subscribe. So we'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks for watching Talk Garage.
You tell them to like, subscribe like 8 times in a video.